that's not blinding at all.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So here we've got the whole family because I asked you guys about a Q&A and you guys said yes. You submitted a lot of questions. Sorry for all the chaos. Sean is actually leaving in a couple hours, but we figured we needed to get this done or you guys would kill me. So we're gonna jump right in.
Run. You trying to get through? Orion.
No.
What? So I guess this is the part where you just apologize and, you know.
Okay, you guys, so this is about to be the absolute worst Q&A fail ever. I remember some of the questions I saw. I had it on Instagram and I did not realize that I can't go back in my stories more than 2 weeks. And so all of your questions that you guys asked originally on there are, I can't see. And so I'm sorry. But there was a post that you guys also could ask questions. So I have a couple questions on there that we'll answer. I remember a couple of the questions that I saw just as replies, but just a fail. The first one is gonna be to Orion because he is not gonna sit with us very long. Orion, come here. And somebody wanted to know, Orion, what's your favorite food? Cereal?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Bye. Okay, so first one is gonna be name 3 things you and your partner appear to have in common.
We have a lot not in common, actually.
Yeah, we're pretty opposite.
Yep.
But I think we are probably the definition of opposites attract. I mean, our morals and values are the same, but like our music tastes, our dance abilities,
What?
our morals and values are the same.
We both like medium rare steaks because
Yes.
I convinced you. There's been some things I've been, you know, slowly getting her to change her viewpoints on. Yep. So that's about it.
Just random things, like we don't have the same favorite colors or things like that, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm okay with that though.
So this is for you, Sean.
Okay.
What is the one thing that you have liked about Korea, and what is your dream duty station, and where would you like your forever home to be? So you got 3 questions there.
So I love the food in Korea. My dream duty station is probably Italy, Aviano. And favorite place to live?
No, like forever, like where do you want
Like to settle down?
Yeah.
It'd probably be here in Denver, but I don't know. That's kind of flexible.
Yeah. This was a very common question. I do remember that even in the thing, is how did we meet? But this person also said, and when? So
You don't remember?
I do. I was seeing if you were gonna jump in with it. So, okay. So first off, we met online. Do you want me to tell the story?
Sure, I guess.
He hates when I tell the story, but I'm gonna tell the story. So basically, we met online. I was like done, you guys. I was like, eat, pray, love. I was done with. Hey, come here. Long story short, we met online. I was totally in an eat, pray, love moment. I was not about dating anybody. I thought everybody online was creepers, and then I was trying to show my sister, actually. I was like, look at how people are creepers. And I opened up the app, and it's so funny because Sean's message was on top, so I just opened up the top message, and then I read it, and I was like, well, this is actually really sweet. Like, he seems really nice. And then we started to, like, text and talk with each other, and someone, like, well, where do you live? Because he had just gotten stationed here, and I said how far I was, and he was just like, oh, that's too far. And I was like, if I'm not worth that time of your drive, then you are not worth my time, basically. So I was like, bye, Felicia. And then, what was it, maybe a day or 2 later?
It was a few days. But
Yeah. So then he texted and he was like, you know, I feel like the worst that could happen is that, you know, we don't get along, but I feel like we should at least go on a date because we just felt like there was a connection, right? Mm-hmm. And so obviously we went on a date and here we are, I guess. So we've been married almost 5 years. We've been together 6 years. So the next question is, how are both of our families preparing for the big move? So basically, how are we doing it? And then they also say, how are our in-laws preparing? I can speak real quick just for my family that, I mean, they're just kind of going with it. I think it hasn't hit them yet because we're living with them. And I think that it'll hit them when it's closer to time that we're leaving. And I know that they are going to miss their grandchild for sure. I mean, for us, we're preparing, and that's a whole separate video. And I'm going to start that of the PCS series. But it is months worth of preparation for us of moving.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a whole checklist that he still has to do. I mean, it's a lot of stuff to prepare to move overseas.
You've always lived close to your family, so you've seen them quite regularly. But I mean, mine live all over the country, so it's like, even when I lived in Colorado Springs, I didn't see them very often, like maybe once a year. So it's probably about the same, honestly.
How do you deal with being away from Orion and I?
I don't know. I guess I just don't. I mean...
You don't deal with it? I feel like, so let me tell you guys right now, he's not good at expressing his emotions. And because he's emotional, because he leaves today and he has to leave Orion again today, you're not going to get a full answer because someone's emotional and they don't like to show emotions in that way. A why can I say it?
Vulnerability?
Thank you. So, but I mean,
I miss them, but there's like not a whole lot I can do about the situation other than like calling and video chatting and stuff like that, you know?
I think for both of us, we just kind of almost, maybe this is healthy, maybe it's not healthy, maybe this is why a lot of people have been like, wow, you've done so well or whatever, but it's like you kind of have to just almost like block it out, like just realize you have to live your own life while you're separate.
Yeah, that's,
Like,
I mean, because like I basically have a whole nother life over there where I'm busy doing things, you know?
Because it's like if we just sit in our rooms and just like wallow all day, then it's not going to be beneficial at all. Obviously, I don't have that as an option because when he leaves, you know, it's like I'm a single mom. So, but yeah. Will there be baby number 2 in the future? Yep. I mean, hopefully, I would say fingers crossed that hopefully before the end of this year, we are announcing that we are expecting baby number 2. Obviously, we're not going to give like every little detail as to our trying and stuff, but just like I said, just hopefully before the end of this year, you guys will be seeing that baby number 2 is on the way. I do want to let you guys know right now that I'm somebody who I don't, this is me personally. I don't tell people, and I don't want to tell people, especially social media, until we're out of the first trimester. So just know that I'm not going to be somebody who's like, I'm pregnant, and I'm like a week pregnant or anything. I'm going to, this time, I didn't do this with Orion, but I am going to do this with the next baby, is I am going to film all of that stuff, but it's just going to be like kept away, basically. And then I'll put it out afterwards. But I just want to let you guys know you will be delayed in the aspect that when we're announcing our pregnancy, I will be deep in it. Ooh, when did you know that your husband was the one? I actually knew this on our first date, and it's crazy because like I had never experienced this before. So our first date was a little bit more extraordinary than just going out to dinner or anything. We went actually away to a hot springs for, was it just a night though, right? Or was it 2 nights? Like, it's crazy. For a first date, you guys, we went away together for 2 nights. Like, I know some people are probably like, what if he was a serial killer? But one thing I want to say is with online, we talked for quite a while, video chatted, things like that online before we actually went on this date. It's not like I, was texting him on Monday and by Friday we were
But our first meal was at Chili's, so I guess if it went really bad, I could have just left you there or something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We did go to Chili's first, but so
we did that like before we got on the road because the hot spring was like 2 hours away, maybe.
Yeah.
So
it was kind of the tester. Like, let's sit and see kind of how things go because then if something was wrong, I guess we would have just been like, oh, I'm so sick. But anyways, so we went away to the hot springs. Had like, it was a great magical time. But what was crazy is, and I know this is going to sound so psychotic, I highly recommend girls do not say this to men on your first date. They'd probably run away. But we were driving back and we were in silence. And I know for a lot of people, there's like, oh my God, that awkward silence, or it's so awkward to not be talking, or you feel like you have to talk all the time, especially like when you're first meeting or on first dates. And we were silent and there was like this calmness. And then for some reason, I was just like imagining us having like a child in the car and just driving, and it was like 10 years down the road. And it was just one of those things that like, it was so vivid. It was like I was daydreaming, and there was something inside that was just like, he's the one. Because it's like, I mean, I had never had that kind of feeling or like picture, like, you know, you picture with people, oh, like if I married them and stuff, but this was just, it's so hard to explain how vivid it was and just how true it felt in my heart. Like it literally was just like, here you go, here is your answer. And I didn't tell him that. I kept quiet. I didn't say it for a while, but that's when I knew. So I knew on our first date that he was going to be the person that I married. One of the questions was, what did you think when you saw me for the first time since having surgery? Look, the camera's up there.
I mean, like, I thought she looked amazing.
No.
Yeah. I was really happy.
Yeah. And I want to, like, for those that are new to my channel, I hope that you guys know, obviously my husband's been supportive of me of whatever, like, size and stuff that I've been, but it's just exciting because he knows, like, that was something that was very, very, like, huge, I would say, in our marriage and everything, too, of just, like, an insecurity, like, on my end. So, like, I think...
And you would have never had the surgery if it wasn't for me.
That's true, you guys.
Because I was the one
ready
that
to
kept
give
on
up.
telling her to do it, because, you know...
Yeah.
Up here in Buckley, she'd be going to, or in Denver, she'd be going to, like, civilian doctors, you know, which is different than military, so.
Yeah, so long story short, the base that we were at when I went to go get the consultation for the surgery, basically the guy was like, no, and he wanted to put me in an experimental weight loss surgery type thing that was basically like, yeah, I want to put you in the experiment that you're probably, like, gonna die. Because it was really bad, like the way that they're doing an experimental weight loss surgery that's not out on the market yet. And I was like, no. And then they wouldn't do the surgery. So I was very discouraged. And I just was ready to give up. And yeah, Sean's the person that convinced me to get it. And so, best decision of Sean's life to tell me and to push me to do it, because obviously, like, I'm way happier, which I feel like then creates a better dynamic for us, and just like intimacy wise, everything, like it's just so much better. A lot of people, like I said, so a lot of the questions were basically when we were having the next baby. Oh, somebody did ask, so how many kids do we want?
Like 2 or 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I feel like I want 3. Like in my heart, I feel like I want 3, but I think what will happen is after we have baby number 2, we'll have to look at what we're doing and what our life is looking like, because I think 2 is very comfortable, and when you start to go beyond 2 is when you have to look at, and what I mean by comfortable is like, what are we doing, where are we at, where do we want to move to, things like that, because you know, when you start just like having a lot of kids, but then you don't know where you're going to be living, you don't know where you're settling down, you don't know just different things. It's just one of those that we just need to kind of know what the future holds a little bit more, I think, before we throw in a whole nother like human to take care of.
Yeah.
So I apologize that, like I said, I was kind of a failure at some of this. We'll let Orion answer a couple questions that I'll ask of him, because it was supposed to be a family Q&A that even Orion was involved in. I know you guys had some questions for him, but
He just can't sit that long, though.
I just couldn't. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I failed at this, but we will do another family Q&A, and I promise I will screenshot everything when Sean comes back. Come here. Come answer some questions for the camera.
No.
So we've got a 2-year-old on our hands who is very sassy this last week. And so I apologize, you guys, that he has told us no. And what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I don't know what that is, but
Animal.
you want to be an animal?
He wants to be a fire.
Spider-Man. What about Spider-Man?
We help people.
Oh, he helps people?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what about...
Superman.
Oh, West Point or the Air Force Academy?
Your boys got me.
Air Force Academy?
Ah.
All right.
Doing me proud.
You want to help people?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Spider-Man.
Oh, you're going to be a fireman?
No.
No. What are you going to be then?
Superman.
Oh, you're going to be Superman?
Oh.
Whoa.
Help people.
You're going to help people? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks. Can you say bye?
Bye.
That's our child. That's our family. We hope that you guys enjoyed this hot mess of a Q&A, and I will see you guys in other vlogs. You'll see Sean here in another few months.